Well, hello, all Hebrew scholars. Welcome to just a little reminder that we're going to be meeting soon. And I thought I'd recap um, just to kind of get your brains into gear for Friday. I'm so excited to meet again. Just a heads up that looking at the syllabus that I submitted, we are like a month behind. And that's okay. That's okay because I'd rather go at the pace that we are. Maybe we'll catch up. I'm not quite sure. Um, but that was just in December. We didn't meet in person, it was virtual. So it just got kind of tricky. And we're going at a learner's pace, and I'm just fine with that. So last month we recapped a little bit and what we knew in Hebrew, and we looked at um, chapter 4. So in the wonderful book, so chapter 4 in the book. So my hope is for our class on Friday the 17th is to look at chapter 5 in the book. But I thought I'd start with some review, and hopefully you have the book. If not, you can look on your screen. I thought I'd go through the alphabet. This is on the last page of the Hebrew primer. I'll say it and I'll leave some time for you to say it. Go through the letters first and then the vowels that are on that right hand column. So here we go. First letter is Aleph. Next one is Bet or Vet. Remember, the Bet is the one with the dot in the belly. We have Gimel, G sound. Dalet or a D sound. Hey, and it's a H like in house sound. Then we have Vav, which is a V like vein. Vein. I was reading it. I said vein. That's okay. It starts with the V sound. Then we have Zain, which is Z, like a Z in zebra. Then we have Chet. That's the guttural one. That's the one that comes from the back of your throat. Chet, like in Bach. Tet, T sound, like in tall. Yod, as in yeah. Kaf. So with it's like the backward C. And just a reminder that with the dot, it sounds like kitty, but if it doesn't, it also has the sound like bak. Then we have lamed that has the l sound. Mame, which has the m sound like in moon. Then we have the nun, which is the n sound like in now. Samek with S. Then we have another silent letter, Ein. Then we have Pei, and it's the p sound like park when it has the dot in that letter, and sounds like f, like food or Phyllis. Pei, Fei. The next one is Tsari, and it's like TS together like in nuts. T. The next letter is Kof, like in kitty. The next one is Resh, R like in robin. Then we have Sheen and Seen. Sheen has the dot over the right, and Seen has the dot on the left. And the last letter is Tav, and that also is a t sound. Now with the vowels, now the Hebrew vowels do have names. I don't know if that's helpful for you or not. It could be. But going down that column, we have ah, which is just a flat line, ah. We have a small t that is also like ah and yacht. A dot is an e as in b. Two dots is a. The three dot triangle is a is in segol. That's the vowel name, like in bed. Then we have a dot above either the letter or a vav and a like with a little hat, a little dot on top, and that's like an O in row. Three dots coming starting at the top left, going down. Three dots to the right is a kibbutz, or oo is in pool. There's another vowel that also sounds the oo sound like in pool, and that's a vav with a dot in it, like a person is in a pool. The next vowel is the chataf kametz, which is like a small t with two dots, and that's like an O as in row. And the last one is the shiva, which is kind of silent. It and it kind of functions like syllables in a word. So that's our little review. Let's see. I'll click on my next slide. All right. There's the other, more about placement. All right. And then here's chapter 4. So chapter 4 actually begins with kind of a, oh, I'm not there yet. Get in my book. Kind of a review in the beginning, oral review. You can read those out loud. That would be a good review. On page 26, this is where I started. And you have your typical vocabulary words, like things that we would find commonly in the Old Testament. So I will start on the right column and go to the left, just because I think the words are important. So first we have Avraham. Now some people have said Abraham. It's okay, but it doesn't have the dot in there. You won't be punished, but Avraham is Abraham. Ish is man. We have Beit is hout or bait. We have Ben as son. We have Devar, and that's word or thing. And we have David, that's David, like the name David. David and Davar is very similar. If you looked at them, they sound similar, and except for the last letter. But we have a vet and a vav in the middle, so they're very similar in sounding words. He is who, so we have who is he. At the top of the second column, we have Zakar, remembered. And then we have, I'm looking on the screen, but I can also look in my book. We have Malek, Malak, and that's ruled. And then we have Melech, is king. Malak is rule. Melech is king. Na'ar is young man. Ahmad is stood. Shema is heard or listened. And Shamar is kept or guard. So those are the vocabulary words that you probably will know by the end really well of our time together. Then it kind of goes down and talks about the Hebrew sentence structure. And in both English and Hebrew, a sentence is a group of words that expresses a complete thought. So they give examples. Like we have David Zakar, David remembered. Hu Ahmad, he stood. Ish Shama, a man heard. We have Melech Malak, a king ruled. And we have Abraham Shamar, Abraham guarded. In English, the verb normally follows the subject, so David remembered, he stood. But in Hebrew, the verb usually precedes the subject, but may also follow it. So we can have David Zakar, David remembered, or we could have Zakar David, David remembered. Same thing with he stood. We can have Hu Amar, or we could have Ahmad. Sorry, looks like a resh. And what I'm see, I gotta look at the book more. Or we can have Hu Ahmad, or we can have Ahmad Hu. He stood, both ways. Going on to the next page, the subject of the sentence is a noun or a pronoun that performs the action in the sentence. A noun is a word that names a person, place, object, or idea. The nouns in the vocabulary of this chapter we have are word and thing, davar, David, David, Melech, king, Na'ar, young man, Avraham is Abraham, Ish, man, Bait or bait is house. Then we have Ben, which is son. A pronoun is a word used in the place of a noun. And for example, he or she, right? And it are pronouns. The vocabulary of this chapter is just who. It's just the masculine is who, which is he. The verbs that we learned are Ahmad, which is stood. Shamar is heard. Zakar, remembered. Or Malak, ruled. And then we have Shamar, which is guarded. So the meaning of the perfect tense, the English verbs described in action in the past, present, future senses. And biblical Hebrew only has two, a perfect, which describes completed action, or imperfect, which describes action which is not complete. So all the verbs shown above are shown in the perfect tense, and in biblical Hebrew, the perfect tense is sometimes used to describe present completed action or even future completed action, as well as past completed action. So completed is perfect, past, present, and future. And so in this book, however, the perfect tense, we treat it as if it was equivalent to the English past tense. So in English, there are many ways to describe action in the past, right? In Hebrew, there is only one way. The Hebrew sentence we have David Shamar can be translated into English as David guarded, David did guard, David was guarding, David has guarded. Then after that, we go on and learn about the definite article. In English, there is an indefinite article like a or an, a man or an I. In Hebrew, there is no indefinite article. Therefore, Melech can either be king or a king, depending on the context. Both English and Hebrew, there is a definite article in English. and the definite article is a separate word, like the school. In Hebrew, the definite article is attached to the noun and cannot stand alone. The definite article is a hey, and it's usually with an ah under it, followed by a dagesh in the letter. So they give examples. They give an example of just the on its own, which is the ha, with the placement consonant with the X. So melek, ha-melek. You see there's dagish in the meme in the middle. Before there wasn't. We have melek. And then in the ha-melek we have the dat and the m. That's the dagish. And they gave us some examples like ha na'ar would be ha-na'ar, the young man. Ha davar would be ha davar, the word. Ha ben would be ha ben, the son. We have ha beit or bayit. Ha bayit is the house. The definite article and the 5 gutturals. So this is when the definite article comes before a word that begins with one of the guttural letters, like a resh, an ayin, chet, hey, and the aleph. The ha may change to a ha or a he, and there is no dagesh in the following letters. So we gotta kind of highlight that a couple times. So for example, they give an example, ish is man, right? And so it begins with an aleph. So we know that looking at how it is formed on the right hand column, we see that it's just man or a man. And then on the left column, we see ha-ish. We have the man. We have ear is city. Ha-ir is the city. We have arim or cities. Then ha-rim, the cities. Going on to the next page, and I should probably flip it in the book so that I can see it up close and personal. Some nouns are definite by nature. In English, we call them proper nouns. They include the names of the specific people and specific places. The definite article is not usually used before a proper noun. The man remembered, Ha'ish Zakar. Avraham Zakar, Abraham remembered. Hamelech Ahmad, the king stood. David Ahmad, David stood. Right, we're on a roll. Then we had some exercises. I think I'm going to do in the exercises on this page, I'm gonna go and just read the last column because I think we all kind of start at 1 maybe. We'll go towards the end. So, and that starting with 11 right over there, we have davar. Davar, do you remember what davar is? Word or thing. Number 12 is zakar, which means remember. Number 13, we have malak, malak, and that's ruled, right, that's ruled. Then we have na'ar, number 14 is na'ar, and that means young man. And there we go, number 15, ha-na'ar, that's the young man. All right, down to exercise 2, starting with number 7. It reads Ahmad Bait. Ahmad Bait. So I know that Ahmad means stood, and Bait or Bait is house, and it translates to the house stood, the house did stand. The house stood would be just fine. Or a house. Sorry, we don't have that, so it's just a house. A house. Number 8 is Na'ar Sakar. Na'ar Sakar. A young man remembered. A young man remembered. It can also be translated as a young man did remember, a young man was remembering, a young man has remembered, and a young man had remembered. Yep, all of that. Number 9, Shamar Ish. Shamar Ish. So the first word is Shamar, which is stood. And no, it's not stood. What am I doing? Guarded. I was looking at this. Shamar is guarded. Shamar Ish. Shamar Ish. So a man guarded or a man had guard. Keep going. Kind of keep a thumb on page 27 in chapter 4. That's how you can translate all that. Now, at number 3, they have sentences. Ooh, we're at the point of sentences. We are. You guys are pretty good at this. I found a better spot for my book. So, number 5, we have David Zakar Davar. Oh, so that's one. That's one sentence. Okay, that is one sentence because there's a dot at the end. That would be the stop. David Zakar Davar. David remembered a word, or David had remembered a word. And then the next line, that was the right by 5. The next line is Ha'ish Zakar Davar. Ha'ish Zakar Davar. The man remembered a word or a thing, or a man had remembered a word or a thing. Number 6, it reads, Hu Shamar Bait. He, remember who is he? He guarded a house. He guarded a house, or he had guarded a house. And the one underneath that one in 6 is Hamelech Shamar Bait. The king guarded a house, or the king did guard a house, or the king was guarding a house. So those are all those exercises on that page. Number 4, it says add the definite article to the following words. Don't forget to add the dagesh. I'm not sure how to do that right now, but well, I will. I'll make a note. Let me see if I have. Oh, one. I want to make a note to kind of go over the dagesh, how to add that in, just for fun. Or maybe I'll figure it out how to do this on the next. Okay, more review. Here's the last one. I don't know if you did number 5. You could try and write the letters, But predominantly, I want you to look at the Hebrew letters and be able to read the Hebrew, translate it into English. Okay. So here we'll go to 6 and we'll do 6, 7, 8, and 9. We have Zakar hu bayit. Oh, did you catch that? Zakar hu bayit or bait. We have a verb, right? Remember, Zakar, remember. Hu is he and bait. So it can be translated, he remembered a house, or he had remembered a house, or he did remember a house. Number 7 is Shema Haish Davar. Shema Haish Davar. And that is the man heard a word or a thing. The man did hear a word or a thing. Number 8 is Ha Bait Ahmad. Notice that we have the ha, so it's the house stood, or the house did stand. Number 9 is Hamelech Malak. The king ruled. And notice that the dagish is in the main. That's what I got. So I'm running a few things over here. Now what I want to do, kind of go over, we've been looking up some Hebrew words in the dictionary, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand this a little bit. Let's see. Let me see if I can find a car. We're at Aleph. Go all the way down there. Oh, no. Went too far. Sign. Ha! Found it close. All right, so we have Zane. I think that's it. Zane. Aha! I found it. Now I'm gonna try and get up. Let me see if I can. Let's see. What I'm gonna do. I'm learning a lot, so I'm gonna see if I could change it in my recording program. Huh. On my end, it's loading. Aha! It loaded. Now I have to translate. Let's see. I don't know if it looked. Oh, it's because it's on 268. That's funky. Let's see if I could change it to Oh, oh man. Technology. You might want to pause this so you get to find it. See if I can redo it. Copy. OBS. Oh, that one. Source. B. Okay. Huh. It's not loading what I really wanted it to load. Hmm. Well, maybe I'll have to run it by next time. I don't want to do that. I just pushed a button on my computer and I didn't want to do that. Anyway, you always want to remember to look at the first three letters. So Zakar would be Zain, Kaf, Resh. And on that first link, the big link, it's on page 269. And you could see in it that there's a whole bunch of different like different ways it is written in the Old Testament. And it also has like we'll go over like some references as to where it is too. Um, so we'll work on that a little bit more, I think, in the next class. But well, let's see if I can move that, make that smaller. Transition. I hope you had fun with this review. I'm going to stop it. And again, if you have any questions leading up to class, please feel free to email me or give me a call. God's peace. I'll see you soon. Bye.